Cofield and Company, Radio Row. In our town, Vegas, Lisa Kerney is sitting down with us. You look spectacular.
Thank you. Does everyone know what you're wearing?
I've sent out some pictures.
Okay.
I have
this is special.
little dinner jacket. It's very sparkly, but it was very cheap, so it is flying everywhere.
This is my jam. I rolled up and I was like, oh, these guys are my guys. I'm just going to be here the rest of the day.
Is that right? All right.
We're very Vegas. He's got the jacket on. I'm a little hungover, like this is how it's going.
You're doing it right.
You know what's funny about that is we have been, I don't know if you saw, Boomer Esiason kind of ripped on our town, and he was like, listen, the Super Bowl being there is really dangerous. They should have had the team stay in Arizona and come in. And we're big on, like, hey, you can be here. You don't have to participate in all the vices.
There's a lot of choices.
Just be disciplined and be a professional. And then I get a text this morning, sorry, bro. I was downtown.
Hey, but it's not Vegas' fault. It's my own, right? I made the decisions that I did last night.
There you go. You could have made the same decisions in any other city in this the whole country.
Yep.
So,
the best thing on the Super Bowl when you're betting is bet a little, win a lot. Like we call them lottery tickets, basically. Some 500 to 1 odds. You have something going on. How much money can you win?
Yeah, so if you haven't heard about it yet, the Kick of Destiny 2 is we've got Rob Gronkowski that is going to be kicking just minutes live before the Super Bowl actually kicks off. And this is his redemption tour. We had the Kick of Destiny last year. Last year he missed just barely. The wind took it. He gets another chance at it. This is his redemption shot, the sequel. And so you can go on to FanDuel right now. You can pick whether he will make or miss. It's free bets for everybody, 21 or older, and in legal states, of course. And if you pick correctly, you will win a share of $10 million in bonus bets, courtesy of FanDuel.
You know why this is such a great promotion? Because everyone rips on the kickers, especially I'm sure the other players are like, nah, not an athlete. And you've got this hulking figure, and now he's got to go put to the test, do what the little guy does. It's not easy.
It's not easy. And you guys, I was standing there at his rehearsals yesterday. So he's got practice yesterday. He's got practice again tomorrow. And then the real thing happens.
Oh, wow.
Literally live in Vegas, just a couple minutes away from the stadium. And he'll kick the kick for America. We'll see what happens. But he was looking really good yesterday.
Lisa Kerney's with us. Your husband's a hulking figure.
He's a large man, yeah.
Yes. Do you think he's limber enough to have the leg drive to do it?
Oh, yeah. He takes way better care of his body than anybody I've ever seen or known or heard of in my life, especially as a retired athlete. He really takes great care of his body.
Too much?
No, not too much.
Do you guys eat?
Oh, yeah. No, we like to eat.
Okay.
No, but I mean from a physical standpoint, the rest, the heavy weights, the stretching, the ice baths. Like, he's still doing all of that. Yeah.
So, but you'll enjoy the restaurants out here. And
100%. I'm also not doing the ice baths. I'm like, dude, you're nuts. You are crazy. I'm not all about that.
We had Dan Orlovsky on yesterday, who's on ESPN and a former player, and he's rail thin. I'm sure he's in great shape. He doesn't eat anything. He said basically as a couple, his wife had gotten pregnant, put on some extra weight, and then she went crazy, and that's it. He's in.
Yeah.
So he's like, what did he say he had yesterday?
Well, it's got to be like boiled. It's like some chicken breast, but it's got to be cubed. Like, yeah, it's weird.
Orlovsky, we need to have a chat.
Yeah.
Like, no, come to my house. We're gonna make a lot of. So my husband, he's a big eater. He's 6'6", he's 240. He's a big dude. That body needs some fuel,
So you've been in the gambling space for how long now?
5.5 years.
So what do you think?
Well, 5.5 years ago, you could almost not say the verbiage on TV that has anything to do with gambling or sports betting. Fast forward all the way to 2024, we're sitting here at the Super Bowl in Vegas with partnerships with the NFL as well as other leagues. And, it's just been a really positive experience for the industry to continue to evolve and have the buy-in that we've had and great relationships and great partners along the way.
What about for you personally, like coming up in regular broadcast journalism and then going the route of working for FanDuel? How was that like for you, that transition?
Yeah, so when I was at ESPN, I was hosting Fantasy Football Now, doing a lot of the NFL Live, NFL Insiders at the time, dating myself, but we had that show back then. And on SportsCenter, so I do the SportsCenters all week long, and we always had a segment, at the tail end of my time there, and it was Vegas lines. Like, you couldn't say gambling or sports betting. And that was 5 years ago. It was not that long ago. And Doug Kazarian, who had been a fixture at ESPN for a long time, he just recently left, but he's been in the sports betting space for a while. He would come on and we'd have our little 3-minute segment, and it's like, okay, we talked about the lines, but we couldn't say anything else.
Be careful.
Be careful. And, and then fast forward, you've got ESPN that not only has, their own sports betting content, but now their own company. So, the evolution, just from my perspective, having been at ESPN and seeing it from that lens, and when I left ESPN to have the opportunity and challenge to really what is sports betting? I better get a sports betting for dummies book and read real quick because I just took this new job, and I need to know all about sports betting. So it was very much a crash course in what it all is and was and at the time, and I absolutely love it.
Well, I'm sure it was easy. The sports betting community is very accepting of women, so it's really easy to probably make that transition for you, huh?
Yeah, I raise my hand. I'll be the pillar. You guys, I'll hang with all the guys. Let's do this thing. But that brings up a really good point because I am such a fan of marrying the sports with the numbers, with the betting, and having it all. I mean, it's all a part of the same conversation now, right? And I want women to be as much represented in that conversation and just as comfortable in that conversation as the men. And so I think we're going to start to see that evolution within the sports betting evolution happening at a pace that's faster than I think people are going to expect.
Do you dabble in sports betting? Are you sitting at dinner, checking your scores and bets?
You know what? I'm crazy about my fantasy team.
Really?
I really crazy about my fantasy team.
How many, you have one or you have multiple?
No, I have one.
Okay.
Which is probably a fail on my part because then I don't have any redemption.
You can hyper-focus on it.
Yeah, but then when I make really bad mistakes, It's like, oh my gosh.
We have a friend who has 31 teams, so he basically has every player in the league.
That's a full-time job.
Well,
yes.
The worst part is whatever pickup night is, what are you doing? 3 hours of pickups?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, that's madness. No, I commit to one team. My team name has always been Patrick is Mahomes. Yep. Patrick, my husband. I'm from Kansas City. Patrick. I was like, this is just gold. I need to win because I have the best name. I have not yet won. We're still working on that.
Really, not once?
No.
I mean, fantasy is kind of a crapshoot.
No, it's myself and a whole bunch of female sports hosts in the landscape, NFL Network, ESPN, all of us, crazy females that are all nuts in our football world.
I assume growing up, Chiefs fan?
Oh, yeah, big time.
So what is this like? Tell the rest of us who root for teams that never win what it's like, not only winning, but knowing that you're going to have a quarterback, a great one, an all-time great for 18 years.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to, right? Is do you have a quarterback? No. Okay, well, you won't win. It's
Thanks.
so for us.
Thanks for the reminder.
For us to have come into this space, and I can say us because I was born into what could become the next dynasty if we can, have a chance to win the third Super Bowl in the last 5 years. I know you guys know that's well publicized, and no one's gone back-to-back in the last 2 decades. I mean, it's since the early 2000s when the Patriots did it, and so the opportunity in front of the Chiefs to step into this moment in a real way is here this weekend. But I think my favorite part about it is waking up after the AFC Championship game to plus money. We're getting you've got to be kidding. You got to be kidding me.
And then the amazing thing is Mahomes' record when he's a dog.
10-1-1.
You basically have to bet it.
Yeah.
Because you're I guess I'll break the streak. But I'm not going to miss out on it.
Right.
If it happens again, we're just stupid if we don't bet them.
Right, and it's still 2.5. Other books have moved the lines, but we've moved and come back to 2.5. And it's blowing my mind. I mean, 80% of the handle money for the Chiefs to cover, 80% on the Chiefs. And same with the money line as well. It's roughly 80%, just a little bit less on the money line. But I'm not the only one that's figured it out. You wake up, you're like, how is Patrick Mahomes getting points? It's crazy.
You betting a lot of props?
Am I betting the props? Yeah. No, but actually, let me speak to the Niners for a second because Christian McCaffrey is leading one of the best props, I think, which is the anytime touchdown score. I love that one. He's got 34% more money on that prop than anybody else. It's a lot. It's a long shot.
It's over $2.
By a lot. Yeah.
Minus 225 for him to score a touchdown.
Yeah. Come on.
I'll mention this as pre-promotion because we don't have you guys here in Nevada yet. The FanDuel platform is pretty cool. So everywhere I go, because I'll go on the road traveling with UNLV as a broadcaster, as soon as I hit the ground, I'm like, I need an account here. So I think I have some money parked in Indiana. FanDuel Indiana. So I actually need you guys to get approved here.
Yep.
So that I can get
we're
my
working
money.
on it.
Otherwise, I have to go back to Indiana and get inside the geofencing.
Well,
I don't know if I'm going back.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing for FanDuel is you can get your money still from your account.
Yeah.
You can at least withdraw it.
I'm fibbing on that, yeah.
But I will say, as much as it is a great sign or it's a great place to bet, I went to New York, and the second I touched down, I was playing video poker on my phone, on my FanDuel app. I like video poker. That's dangerous.
Uh-oh.
I was in the back of an Uber like, yeah, let's do this. And then I had 4 aces, and I was like, now it's even more dangerous because I won the first time I was playing around out there.
You're like,
That's
Uber,
crazy.
take another lap.
Yeah.
Take a hot lap. Gotta keep working. Yeah, I mean, that's what's cool about our platform, right, is that we have so many different products for so many different people. What's your interest? You want to play poker? We've got casino. You want free to play, win some money against your friends? Do that. Sports betting, straight up. We've got all the lines that you need and want. Some really fun props, as we talked about. It's a really fun time to be in this industry for sure.
So one more time before you go, the Gronk kick. So give a little promotion here. How do people get in? Where do they go on the web?
Absolutely. You can watch it live. You can follow along. You can actually log on right now, youtube.com/FanDuel/live. That will take you to remind yourself to watch the kick live. It's minutes before the Super Bowl actually kicks off. We're like the commercial just before the Super Bowl kicks off, which is very, very cool. So you can watch it live, but more importantly, you can get in on the action, right? You can make a choice whether he's going to make or miss. Depending upon the results, you could share a huge, massive load of share of $10 million in bonus bets.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.